Zimbabwe cash crisis worse. About Venezuela once again. Systemic important banks. They removed the 1,000 they were called monetary preparedness. Welcome to a midday RTD News update. Wanted to check in real quick and shine some light on the current information that's being given, and they basically just point to the fact that what's presented to us as new news in actuality is old news, and I'm going to show you how that is. But anyway, hope everyone's well. I haven't done a Sunday stream in a while, but thought I would just check in real quick, share my 2 cents, show you a bunch of articles, visual aids, and whatnot, pointing to the fact that everything we're experiencing, nothing is coincidental. It's all planned, and it's just information that's being given out in phases, in my opinion. And the first phase happens to be the announcement of the interbanking payment network between Russia and China. But I'm going to point to you in a moment and show you how that it's extremely old, but it's new information that's being presented to the world. At the same time, we have all these sanction talks going on. But anyway, hope everyone's doing well. As always, any new members of the community, welcome, as well as make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to be notified for live streams during the week. And let's jump right in. So basically, I was reading some comments in the prior videos from this past week, just trying to acknowledge a couple people and just show that I do check in with the comments. So feel free, as always, to make sure you put some comments down below, and I will definitely jump on it. But let me jump right into these articles here. So I noticed a comment, and that's why I decided to put some stuff together after doing some little research on my side. And one of the comments was basically highlighting how things are speeding up and how it looks like, Russia is going beyond the sanctions and yada, yada, yada. I'm thinking like, something smells fishy. So let me go ahead and jump down a rabbit hole real quick and pull some information forward just to give you guys something to chew on and show how this is new to the world, but old news if you've been paying attention. So let's jump right in. Here is an article. That headline caught my attention. Couldn't help but jump on it because, once again, everything we see from the mainstream news, especially the Western media, is skewed to make Russia feel or appear to be the aggressor in the whole Ukrainian conflict, as well as everything moving forward in regards to this whole monetary order will make it appear like a sense of desperation on the Eastern nations' part as they scramble to try to, get their situations together because of the sanctions and whatnot. But the more I read into this, the more I realize that the East and the West, of course, are working together. They just need something to really paint a narrative to make it believable, rather. And so sanctions, of course, is the primary one they're going to use until we get to the next phase, which throughout the next couple of weeks, I'll be laying out these phases as I uncover more information. But article headlines: Russian banks rush to switch to the Chinese card system. So I'm thinking like, rush. Oh, really? That's what it is. So that was at, I think, 2:54 this morning. And then the next headline following that one was this one. It says Russian banks may issue cards with China's UnionPay as Visa and MasterCard cut links. And so 2 headlines. And so this was as of 10 o'clock this morning. So we got the first word, which is rush to banks. And then we have may issue cards. So let me actually show you how both of these articles here are old news. And of course, it's just designed to make it appear as if things are fresh and new. But in actuality, the interbanking payment system, as I've talked about before, it's a part of the whole BRICS payment networking process that will be utilizing a variety of tools, real complicated things, and of course, the blockchain style approach to it. But let me jump into some articles and highlight this more. So here is something I thought was worth bringing to your attention. And so we have seen, or witnessed rather, the emergence of the UnionPay network over the last several years. And so as MasterCard, which is less than the UnionPay as far as actual usage, market cap, revenue, things like that, and all the other ones here, as you can see, are quite small in nature. But UnionPay is the second largest out of all the market share of 2020. Of course, this is old, but as you guys can see here, Visa is the head honcho for now. But based upon the current trajectory of UnionPay, the Chinese interbank payment network, it's going to surpass them very soon. And of course, I don't think that it's more so about the powers that be concerned about UnionPay surpassing Visa and MasterCard. It's more so about making sure that the primary shareholders, as well as the institutions involved with MasterCard and Visa, they're able to also benefit in this transition and get their percentage of the cut as far as the entire world eventually linking to all 3 of these networks in the near future. But more information here. So here, as of here, we got Union Pay at 32%. Of course, I would assume that since 2020, this is of course increased, but this is the most recent one. And so for those that are tuning in, I've witnessed throughout my travels, so of course, seeing Union Pay used by several businesses throughout the world. And so it's nothing new, but it's not as popular here as it is in Europe, as well as South America and Africa. But it's something that is already operational. And what makes it so interesting is the fact that Union Pay ultimately uses the yuan and could be possibly utilizing the whole digital renminbi aspect as well. But here is a little video that I want to play, basically just shining a little bit of light on how big the Union Pay network has became over the last couple of years. So listen to this as I play this short little clip here. All right, so I thought I would just share that because I was going through the Union Pay Twitter feed and I actually went back uh maybe 5 6 years. I went all the way back to 2017, and in doing such, just more information, more revelation is being given as to how we're being told one thing where in actuality they have already been utilizing Union Pay. It's just owed to us. And it's my my hypothesis, my opinion perhaps, that Vladimir Putin actually already has a debit card, credit card type of situation in his wallet with the Union Pay and the Mir payment system already in his wallet. And I'm going to show you why that probably is the case. Red Boy, I appreciate you for the love offering to the channel. Thank you, my friend, for being a blessing. And these are going to be just shorter. I just want to jump through all the things that I've uncovered down the rabbit hole, just to let you guys know that something is more to the story than what we're being told, of course. But as I mentioned before in prior live streams, here is just, the interworkings or the interoperability of the current payment structure that's already operational. It's just being announced to the world, and they're using under the whole sanctions narrative and the desperation that's being created because of those narratives. But as you guys can see, I showed you this already. Here to the left, we have the Mir payment network, and it already been utilized heavily in Russia, as well as a lot of the EAU nations, Belarus, Armenia, and all the surrounding nations. And of course, we got this router cloud system in the middle. And it's no doubt that this has already been interconnected, and it's definitely operational because it already connects to the Union Pay. And I'm going to show you why that is and how that is. And so for those that may not know, here's just a little something here about just some details about the Mir payment system. So it says the making of the Mir payment system website. And so it's just more highlights, more pictures, actors holding cards. And so this is what has already been used heavily. And since 2015, Russia has ramped up the usage of their own interbank payment network to where it's not even really a big issue, in my opinion, that Visa and MasterCard decided to cut them from their network. But here's a picture here. Then this gets into how, new news to the world, but old news to us and those that pay attention to what's really going on, and realizing this is a BRICS global de-dollarization process here. This is just not an event that just happened to come about because of sanctions. But here is a picture here. It says co-badge bank card of Union Pay from China and the Mir payment system issued by Russian Razol Bank, if I'm not saying that incorrectly. But as you guys can see here, this is a card that already has, as it says here, co-badged. And so they have Union Pay and the Mir system already on cards in Russia, and it's quite old, to say the least. And I'm going to get into how that is. So next one here gives you more insight as to the partnerships that's been underway. So this here is from Union Pay's Twitter account, and look at the date on here. It goes back to 2017. And it says, pleased to partner with Sberbank, if I'm saying that correctly. As expected, Union Pay's acceptance coverage at ATMs and merchants in Russia will increase to 80% by the end of the year, assuming that's what that meant. But this was May 12th, 2017. So that puts us roughly 5 years ago. Sberbank, which happens to be a Russian bank with the primary Russian bank, state-owned bank. And this is the one that is in the headlines as the primary bank that the mainstream news wants to use as the explanation for this, as it says here, as this rush to switch to Chinese card systems. But according to the UnionPay, they partnered back in 2017. And so it says announcements regarding the switch to UnionPay came on Sunday from Sberbank. So they just telling the world now, May 2022, but they initially signed some documentation back in 2017. So more evidence rather than all this information, the interbanking operations is old to us, but then new, or as it's new to the world, but yet old to us and those that are realizing this is something bigger than what we're being told. And then just to go in a little further, let me keep it moving right away. So here is another thing I want to talk about here. So this is important because this hasn't been touched by anyone to my knowledge, but the NSPK, or the National Payment Card System, is a Russian operation. And give you more insight as to what's going on here, I'll read this through this quickly, and hopefully you guys can follow on. But it says the National Payment Card System Joint Stock Company, NSPK JSC, is the operator of the Mir National Payment System. It says development of the Mir Payment System plays a key role in ensuring the sovereignty of the national payment industry. The National Payment System guarantees secure and uninterrupted processes of domestic bank card transactions. It says here, since 1st of April 2015, any domestic transaction performed with a card of any payment system. So any payment system, keep that in mind, that's just not exclusive to Russia. It says including international payment systems within Russia has been processed through the Operational and Payment Clearing Center, NSPK OPCC. So any card swiping or whatsoever that's done in Russia takes place through this joint stock company here, the NPSC, utilizing the Mir system, of course. And then it says here the Mir National Card is accepted anywhere in Russia and enables its cardholders to perform all types of transactions, withdraw cash, pay for purchases, retail stores, and make contactless and mobile payments. So this says 100% of NSPK's JSC shares are held by the Central Bank of the Russian Federation. So the Mir system, it's incorporated somehow through this NSPK, whatever. And so it runs through this joint company here. So let's keep this party going. So here is that Razov Bank article that I found diving down some rabbit holes here. And it says here, Razov Bank rolls out UnionPay Mir card. So Razov Bank is, I think it's the 5th or 6th largest bank within Russia. And it says they rolled out the UnionPay Mir card. So we got the connection, the interoperability of these two interbank protocols here, UnionPay and Mir card. So that's the card that I showed Putin holding on the thumbnail. And so this article here originated. Let's find a date for this one. This article here came out in 2017. So almost 5 years ago, there was a single Russian bank already issuing a joint partnership between UnionPay and the Mir card. And give you some information here. It says the first of its kind UnionPay Mir debit card is set to be issued by the Russia's Razov Bank based on the card issuance cooperation between the UnionPay International and the National Card Payment System Joint Stock Company. So UnionPay International and NSPK, the Mir system, working together, has been rolled out in 2017, covering more than 160 countries and regions outside of Russia, therefore significantly enhancing payment convenience for the Russian residents. It says the Central Bank of Russia Federation established the NSPK in 2014, which I just showed you. It says the UnionPay International and the NSPK, so we got the Chinese version and the Russian version, reached an agreement to promote the banks in the system of the NSPK to issue UnionPay Mir debit cards. And so it says last September in 2000. So last September will put this particular event of the merger of UnionPay and the Mir payment system. It will put it in operation back 2016, according to this article here. So just so you guys know, this is nothing new. This is already old news. It's just becoming mainstream, and they're using the disguise of these sanctions as the reason why the banks need to do it now. Give you more information. It says UnionPay cards are accepted at almost 410,000 proof of sale terminals and 80,000 ATMs in Russia. So the UnionPay cards are already acceptable in Russia. It's already operational, as it says here. And it says here, moreover, more than 900,000 UnionPay cards have been issued by 9 institutions in Russia. 9 institutions. So 9 banks already have UnionPay and the Mir co-bridge together on their cards. So it's 900,000. And this was almost 5 years ago. So it's good to say millions of people already have the card with the UnionPay and Mir Pay on it, basically showing the cooperation between the two nations already. Going back to this whole visual aid that I love to show, basically revealing how the payment structure is already set. They already have the payment network connected to one another. The whole, as I say, the interoperability function is already up and running. So old news to us, new news to the world. It's just more, I think, in my opinion, phase 1 of this whole transition out of the dollar system. And so lastly here, what is all this about? Why is this becoming a primary story as of now? It's all about acceptance and control and providing the world with alternatives outside of the dollar system. And just to end this real quick, let me share with you another little caption here that pretty much summarizes what I'm trying to get at. Here is a picture that I grabbed off the internet. It says Russia and Chinese banks serve a combined population of 1.8 billion people. It says if they work with Indian banks, that makes 3.2 billion. And if you add Africa, that's 4.4 billion people, enough to break the Western monopoly in international financial services. It says Russians ready to use China's UnionPay. And so it's ultimately Russia ready to announce that they have already been using the UnionPay. And so 4.4 billion people is more than half of the population of this planet. And so by UnionPay and Mir being the first 2 nations of the BRICS system to publicly announce they have that interoperability, interbank mingling going on, basically it basically prepares the other nations. Probably will be India next. And I show from that visual aid, they already have their payment system ready. So it's going to be announced officially if the U.S. or the West probably pass sanctions on India, or if somehow the West try to pass sanctions on China or whatever. It doesn't matter. The payment rails are already set up. But yet, in this transition out of the dollar dominant system into a more, use their own buzzword, a more inclusive global monetary order, they're going to use as many distractions, as much bad news, much fear tactics as possible from the mainstream news to basically cover up the fact that there's already payment structures operational and running. The dollar system, Federal Reserve system, SWIFT-driven system is not the biggest and baddest boy in town anymore, in my opinion. And so once again, 4.4 billion people will probably or already have access to the next payment network that doesn't require them to use the Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar system, anymore. So this is what's happening in the news. Thought I would just dig a little deeper, show to you guys that this is old news, but it's new to the world because this is what we're going to experience more of. This whole transition is going to be given to us in phases. And in my opinion, phase 1 is the announcement of the card usage in China and between China and Russia. But as you guys saw from all these articles here, it's already old news. So anyway, more phases to come. This upcoming week is going to be a hell of a week, I'm sure. Just want to connect real quick, be brief. Hope everyone's doing well. If you enjoy this, hit the thumbs up. As I mentioned, make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to be notified for the People's Talk Show this upcoming week, or tomorrow rather. And other than that, be blessed, be safe. Take this information, share it with your family and friends so everyone know that, not to trust the mainstream narrative because they're only giving you what they want you to hear and see. You got to dive deeper. And I'm going to do my best to try to dive down some rabbit holes to give you guys the truth and filter to the noise. Also, that's ultimately what it's all about. So all the links to this stuff right here I just discussed beneath this video if you guys want it. Other than that, be blessed, be safe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
The next recession.
Recession will be a recession.
We're going to hit a recession.
The date of the next recession.
A U.S.-only recession typically lasts 8 to 10 months.
A crash is coming. Now, whether it's 6 months from now, 12 months, 36 months, no one knows.
If you have the right plan to set up, you can make a lot of money from this.